We're under no illusions Libya will travel a long and winding road to full democracy. There will be difficult days ahead. But the United States, together with the international community, is committed to the Libyan people. You have won your revolution. And now, we will be a partner as you forge a future that provides dignity, freedom, and opportunity. For the region, today's events prove once more that the rule of an iron fist inevitably comes to an end. Across the Arab world, citizens have stood up to claim their rights. Youth are delivering a powerful rebuke to dictatorship. And those leaders who try to deny their human dignity will not succeed. For us here in the United States, we are reminded today of all those Americans that we lost at the hands of Gaddafi's terror. Their families and friends are in our thoughts and in our prayers. We recall their bright smiles, their extraordinary lives, and their tragic deaths. We know that nothing can close the wound of their loss, but we stand together as one nation by their side. For nearly 8 months, many Americans have provided extraordinary service in support of our efforts to protect the Libyan people. And to provide them with a chance to determine their own destiny. Our skilled diplomats have helped to lead an unprecedented global response. Our brave pilots have flown in Libya's skies, our sailors have provided support off Libya's shores. And our leadership at NATO has helped guide our coalition, without putting a single U.S. service member on the ground. We achieved our objectives, and our NATO mission will soon come to an end. This comes at a time when we see the strength of American leadership across the world. We've taken out Al-Qaeda leaders, and we've put them on the path to defeat. We're winding down the war in Iraq and have begun a transition in Afghanistan. And now, working in Libya with friends and allies. We've demonstrated what collective action can achieve in the 21st century. Of course, above all, today belongs to the people of Libya. This is a moment for them to remember all those who suffered and were lost under Gaddafi. And look forward to the promise of a new day. And I know the American people wish the people of Libya the very best in what will be a challenging but hopeful days. Weeks, months, and years ahead. Thank you, very much. Barack Obama. Address to the NAACP Convention. Delivered July 14, 2015, Philadelphia Convention Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hello, NAACP. Ah, it's good to be back. How you all doing today? You doing fine? Audience, yes. President Obama, you look fine. All right, everybody have a seat. I got some stuff to say. I've got some stuff to say. Audience member, we love you. President Obama, I love you back. You know that. So, see, now, whenever people have, like, little signs. You all got to write it bigger, because I'm getting old now. And I like that picture of me. That's very nice. Thank you. Let's get something out of the way up front. I am not singing today. Audience, ah. President Obama, not singing. Although I will say your board sang to me as I came in for the photograph. So I know there's some good voices in the auditorium. Let me also say what everybody knows but doesn't always want. To say out loud you all would rather have Michelle here. I understand. I don't blame you. But I will do my best to fill her shoes. And she sends everybody her love. And Malia and Sasha say hi, as well. I want to thank your chair, Rosalind Brock. I want to thank your president, Cornell Brooks. I want to thank your governor, Tom Wolf, who's doing outstanding work and was here. The mayor of Philadelphia, Michael Nutter, who's been a great friend and ally. Governor Dan Malloy of Connecticut, who's here today. And some outstanding members of Congress who are here. I want to just say thank you to all of you for your love, for your support, but most importantly, for the work that you are doing in your communities all across the country every single day. It's not always received with a lot of fanfare. Sometimes it's lonely work, sometimes it's hard work, sometimes it's frustrating work. But It's necessary work. And it builds on a tradition of this organization that reshaped the nation. For 106 years, the NAACP has worked to close the gaps between the words of our founding that we are all created equal. Endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Those words try to match those with the realities that we live each and every day. In your first century, this organization stood up to lynching and Jim Crow and segregation. Helped to shepherd a Civil Rights Act and a Voting Rights Act. I would not be here, and so many others would not be here, without the NAACP. In your second century, we've worked together to give more of our children a shot at a quality education. To help more families rise up out of poverty, to protect future generations from environmental damage. To create fair housing, to help more workers find the purpose of a good job. And together, we've made real progress, including a My Brother's Keeper initiative. To give more young people a fair shot in life. Including the passage of a law that declares health care is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all of us. We made progress, but our work is not done. By just about every measure. The life chances for Black and Hispanic youth still lag far behind those of their white peers. Our kids, America's children, so often are isolated, without hope. Less likely to graduate from high school, less likely to earn a college degree. Less likely to be employed, less likely to have health insurance, less likely to own a home. Part of this is a legacy of hundreds of years of slavery and segregation. And structural inequalities that compounded over generations. It did not happen by accident. Partly it's a result of continuing, if sometimes more subtle, bigotry, whether in who gets called back for a job interview, or who gets suspended from school. Or what neighborhood you are able to rent an apartment in, which, by the way, is why our recent initiative to strengthen the awareness and effectiveness of fair housing laws is so important. So we can't be satisfied or not satisfied until the opportunity gap is closed for everybody in America. Everybody. But today, I want to focus on one aspect of American life that remains particularly skewed by race and by wealth. A source of inequity that has ripple effects on families and on communities and ultimately on our nation, and that is our criminal justice system. Now, this is not a new topic. I know sometimes folks discover these things like they just happened. There's a long history of inequity in the criminal justice system in America. When I was in the state legislature in Illinois, we worked to make sure that we had videotaping of interrogations because there were some problems there. We set up racial profiling laws to prevent the kind of bias in traffic stops that too many people experience. Since my first campaign, I've talked about how, in too many cases, our criminal justice system ends up being a pipeline from underfunded, inadequate schools to overcrowded jails. What has changed, though, is that, in recent years the eyes of more Americans have been opened to this truth. Partly because of cameras, partly because of tragedy. Partly because the statistics cannot be ignored, we can't close our eyes anymore. And the good news, and this is truly good news, is that good people of all political persuasions are starting to think we need to do something about this. So let's look at the statistics. The United States is home to 5% of the world's population. But 25% of the world's prisoners. Think about that. Our incarceration rate is 4 times higher than China's. We keep more people behind bars than the top 35 European countries combined. And it hasn't always been the case, this huge explosion in incarceration rates. In 1980, there were 500,000 people behind bars in America, 500,000 people. In 1980. I was in college in 1980. Many of you were not born in 1980, that's okay. I remember 1980, 500,000. Today there are 2.2 million. It has quadrupled since 1980. Our prison population has doubled in the last 2 decades alone. Now, we need to be honest. There are a lot of folks who belong in prison. If we're going to deal with this problem and the inequities involved, then we also have to speak honestly. There are some folks who need to be in jail. They may have had terrible things happen to them in their lives. We hold out the hope for redemption, but they've done some bad things.